Hello and welcome to codeandpractice.com. In this tutorial you will learn about the increment and the decrement operator. But before we go into learning about increment and decrement operator, there is one small thing that you need to know. It's called inline evaluation of an expression. Now it sounds complicated, but it's not. What it means is that if the Java compiler sees an mathematical expression or a mathematical term, it will first evaluate that expression and then use its value in whatever instruction is being executed. So for example, I have a system.out.println over here, and I've declared a variable, an int variable I, of whose value I have set to 5. And if I were to multiply this value by something, I would get whatever the end result would be. So if I multiplied this I value by 10, I would get I times 10, which is 5 times 10, 50, printed on the screen. So let's just check that, and let's make a bigger equation out of this. So I'm going to say I multiplied by 10 and then divided by divided by 2, right? So here we have a mathematical expression, right? So what Java is going to do when it comes over here, it says, okay, I have to print something, but I have a mathematical expression over here that needs to be evaluated first, and then I'll print it. So it will evaluate this expression and then print it on the screen. So let's save that, and let us just compile this, run it. So there you go, 25 is printed on the screen. Why? Because it evaluated this expression, and 5 times 10 is 50, divided by 2, 25. So now that you know what evaluation of an expression is and how it's done in the Java programming language, I can show you the increment and the decrement operator. They look something like this. Plus plus is for the increment operator, and minus minus is for the decrement operator. And these come in two forms: the pre-increment or decrement, or the post-increment or decrement. So let me show you the pre version of these two first. So let's see what we have. We have I over here, and I'm going to show you the pre version first. So plus plus I, let's see what that prints. It prints 6. So it has incremented the value and printed it on the screen. And if I say minus minus, save that, compile it and run it, what it will do is decrement the value. So we had 5 and it subtracted 1 from it, and now it's 4. It printed the value 4. So this is what happens. This is exactly saying the thing like this. If I were to say I is equal to I plus 1, that is the same as saying I plus plus. Or if I were to say plus plus I, and if I were to say minus minus I, that would be the same as saying I is equal to I minus 1. So hope that makes the picture a bit more clear. Now that you know that, let me show you what the post increment or decrement operators do. Now to use it, all you have to do is put the plus plus or the minus minus sign after the variable name. So if we say I plus plus, what that does is that after the value has been used, the value whatever it is in this has been used by this instruction or this piece of code, the value will get incremented after that. So we won't see any change when this gets printed, but we will certainly see a change if we print it after the above line executes. So if I print I over here again, I will see something else. So let's just run it and see for ourselves what happens. So if you see that the first line, in the first line, nothing really happened. What happened was that it took the value of I, which was 5, printed it on screen, and after the value was printed, it got incremented. So that's what happened, and that's the same if you do it with minus minus. So if you do that with minus minus, what will happen is that first nothing will happen. So let's compile that. first nothing will happen, but in the second line you will see that the value has actually been decremented. So those are the two forms of the increment and the decrement operator. And that's it for now, and thank you for viewing.